How often do we come across highly enthusiastic individuals who are willing to take on the world with a desire and determination to bring about a revolution? Dare to Compete is proud to capture the story of this young team from IIM Ahmedabad who not only raised about 14 lakh rupees in this time of pandemic, but also went about helping 2,300 families and 800 migrant workers. Let's get to know more about the sharing is caring culture at IIM Ahmedabad and learn a little more about these superheroes. Hi team, thank you so much for joining us today. It is a privilege for us to have you here. How are you all doing? And what all new projects are you guys working on?
Hello, thanks a lot for this invite, and we are pleased to interact with the To Compete team and speak about the initiative. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. So, we are all doing great, I believe, if I may speak for the others. Currently, our academic year, the PGP2 has started last week, and curriculum is going on. It's quite hectic, but we are sort of managing the two activities that we are doing and hope to continue this too. In regard to our projects, we are currently trying to restart certain social initiatives in this college that our college used to have, the student community used to have. And these used to essentially function to teach children from underprivileged backgrounds. So we are trying to sort of get that system online. I believe Amjad and Hitesh would be able to speak more about it later. And also, at the same time, we are trying to use the funds that we are raised and are trying to raise more funds to support the education of these children through provision of books, internet connection, etc., wherever possible. And also, like in continuation of our food kit delivery and the financial and medical aid that we have been providing to the people, we are trying to make sure that a long-term support is provided for them through the provision of re-employment of these people to a situation that is at least at par with what exists in the pre-COVID time. And also, wherever possible, we are trying to provide interest-free loans to these people so that certain small and micro enterprises that they had could be restarted.
Okay, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing such details about the upcoming projects. And I hope that all your upcoming projects are as successful as the one that you had previously worked on. I must say that this is the third time that we are in conversation with the team from IIM Ahmedabad who went out of their way to help the people in need. So, is this culture of philanthropy imbibed in the students of IIM Ahmedabad from the very beginning?
Yes, it's extremely fortunate that we as students of IIM Ahmedabad have been given this opportunity. And like, if I may speak for the college, IIM Ahmedabad has had a large influence on various people who have been trying to do something in the social level, both during the student tenure and after they graduate from the college as well. Like the college and the faculty and anybody involved, the entire culture has given such independence to people to ensure that whatever ideas they have are taken forward and supported to a large extent as well. For example, this particular initiative, a professor working in the public systems department named Professor Sarin has been of great influence and has mentored, guided, and even worked for this cause for the past 3 months. So it's with the immense support and the exposure that we are getting, it's hardly surprising that a large number of people from the college, like later in their lives, uh, move from the corporate setting to work for social development as well. There are a large number of people who are very successful and very influential in this regard.
Guys, before we move further, I'm sure that all our listeners and all our viewers would want to know more about these superheroes. So let's do a quick round of introduction. So tell us something more about yourselves.
Okay, I am Amjad Rasheed. I completed my BTech in Electrical and Electronics Engineering from NIT Calicut in 2019 and straightly joined IIM Ahmedabad. Currently, I am the club coordinator of a club named Prayas. It's a social initiative which helps to teach underprivileged kids in the nearby locality of our college. And I am from Thrissur in Kerala and have spent most of my life in Kerala itself. That's mostly about me.
Hello everyone. So I'm Hitesh Singh. I born and brought up in Anand only, and I worked in Amul also for around 1 year. So post that I joined IIM Ahmedabad. So currently I'm pursuing MBA in Food and Agribusiness Management. So currently I'm a coordinator of Smile Club. Smile is basically a student-mediated initiative for underprivileged kids. So basically we cover educational and holistic development here, and with the support of Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation and Waghbakri Group. So compared to Praya, Smile is more outward looking. So we go out, our main motive is community outreach.
Okay, perfect. Ganesh, what about you?
Hello, my name is Ganesh. As you said, I am a native of Trivandrum, and I've pretty much lived in Trivandrum all my life. I completed my engineering degree in the Kerala University, the Government Engineering College Trivandrum. I graduated in mechanical engineering and joined IIM Ahmedabad as a fresher. I currently work with Professor Sarin and his researchers in certain activities that they're doing regarding right to education, and work with certain students from the student body too in that regard.
Okay, perfect. It's amazing to see how much you're working towards contributing as much as you can for the society. So, guys, one question arises here, and that is, how did you guys team up, especially during this time of pandemic, when all of you are sitting at home since March? So, what happened, and how did you all team up for this particular endeavor?
So initially, Professor Sarin reached out to us for having a ground level contacts. So basically, he wanted to contact different people who are more susceptible to this COVID crisis and specifically a lockdown crisis. So we all create a good number of household contacts. So basically, the contacts of different parents. So we had around 1600 to 1800 contacts of different households. So catching up with the three of us was easy, but afterwards our team got large. So we had total 80 volunteers. So with the guidance of Professor Sareen and some research associate. So I would like to take the name. So it was Karan, Isu, Advaita, and Sahiba. So this was our research associate, which had guided us and supported us throughout the campaign. And specifically, these 80 volunteers, so they were very helpful. So because without them, we haven't done anything else. So I'm thankful to 80 odd people.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Now, I would like you all to talk about your little initiative, what it is about, how did you help so many families and so many people, and especially the migrant workers? What all did you do to ensure that everything was in place?
So initially, our whole idea was to hand them, like reach out to all the families and know about how they are doing and how the lockdown has affected us. But the feedback from the survey was that many families didn't have essential food stocks or other essentials with them. So we tried to coordinate with them and ask them to go to nearest shop and buy the essential items. Then we would directly transfer to the shopkeeper's account. After that, it was not a viable option for us. Then we started transferring directly to the household's person's account itself. Then according to in the survey, we marked the each family into three categories: red, orange, and yellow. So red was in immediately need of help, and that was the families to whom we actually transferred the amount. And for the orange, we waited for some time, and we divided them into 6 clusters. And according to the locality, we divided them. So after that, we identified a cluster head for two cluster heads, like there were 2 or 3 people from the community itself. So they know all the families there. Then we reached out to a vendor and transferred an amount of around 2 lakhs rupees and made him to get 300 kits. So Smile used to have a driver who knew all these 6 localities. So we contacted him and he was helping, and he actually shared all the clusters location and reached out to the cluster leaders. And these cluster leaders collected these kits and distributed it to all the needy families. That's how we went about in the first initial phase.
Okay, that is quite an exhaustive process, and I'm sure that it would have taken a lot of time for you to come up with this idea and to plan things out accordingly. So, guys, I would also like to know here that what was your initial idea and how did it evolve over time?
Initially, like this campaign started on a very small level to help the people that we knew, like the students of Smile and Prayas and the students of the RT initiative that the researchers and professors of IIM Ahmedabad had held 2 to 3 years prior. So we tried to reach out to these families through volunteers, and we conducted a survey, as Amjad was telling. If I may share a few details about the survey, this is an excerpt that of the surveys that we did between April 23rd and May 2nd, we found out that nearly 85% of the households that we contacted were not earning their regular income. And out of that, even 54% of the households that we talked to, out of around a sample of 420, we found out that they had reduced the number of meals that they had consumed every day from 3 to 2 and even 1 in some cases, with people sharing one meal which is supposed to be eaten by one person between 2 or even 3 people. And while there were a lot of government schemes that were working, like the Jan Dhan Yojana, etc., over 50% of the people that we surveyed were found to be unaware of these schemes and initiatives, and did not have a proper awareness on whom to reach out to make sure that this is implemented. So we try to sort of educate these people and connect them to various people such as the ward councillors, representatives of the municipal corporation, etc., to make sure that some sort of public and government impact is provided to these people, and sort of try to make sure that at least they get the rations that were allocated by PDS uh, outlets across Ahmedabad. So while this was going on, we mainly tried to focus upon people who fell in the cracks between these systems, who would not, due to some reason or the other, due to them being migrants or probably not having proper government records, were not receiving these rations. We tried to help these people through our kids. So we conducted these calls and completed our list, and we were able to help out quite a number of people from that. But while helping out, we found a very unique phenomenon. A lot of people from these areas called us back, and they were sort of ready and able to take up initiatives as being community volunteers. They themselves reached out to other people who needed support and connected us to them. So we were able to develop sort of networks in different areas. And through this networks, we got to connect with other NGOs and other organizations that were working in this level. 2 people from our side, 2 RAs, and 1 PhD student named Ishu, Advaita, and Karan really helped for this, because they were in Ahmedabad and they had been in the college for a long time and had very good ground level contacts through which this entire system was able to work. So with these NGOs and networks in 6 to 7 areas and 10 plus wards in Ahmedabad, we were able to take this initiative forward. And over the past 3 months, because of them, we have been able to distribute kits, connect to people on ground, and provide them any other aid necessary in the form of maybe financial support for medicines, maybe a small capital to start some business, like selling vegetables, maybe starting their tailoring business, etc. And at the same time, these RAs, with a certain amount of help from us, also started to arrange travel for migrant workers and back to Jharkhand, Odisha, etc. And nearly 900 odd migrant workers were transported during the month of May for this purpose. So this has been briefly what has been going on over the past 3 months.
Actually, we thought that the lockdown will end on in the first 21 days itself, but it got extended to 1 month, then to next 2 months, so that our process also evolved over time. Just first we thought only supplying the food kits will be sufficient, but after that we had to change our goals and ideas for that.
Absolutely, that's rightly said, Amjad, that with time your idea must have evolved tremendously, especially because the lockdown kept on extended. And even right now, we are not entirely out of the lockdown. We do have a couple of restrictions going on just to ensure that we're safe at our own places. And to add to Ganesh's point, to the survey that you mentioned, the survey details that you have mentioned, it's alarming. It's alarming to see that people did not have food, did not have meals to eat, and they had to live in the bare minimum that they were getting. And it's commendable, guys. Kudos to this team and congratulations, and thank you so much for doing all of this, from everybody out there who wanted to do something but wasn't able to because of some reason or the other. Let's now move on to another question, and that would be that how did you guys coordinate with these people who were managing things on ground, and how did you ensure that the on ground working of these people was working smoothly?
So as I said earlier, the first round of kits were delivered on April 9 during the first phase of the lockdown itself. We managed to raise funds. Actually, our initial budget was we were able to raise funds more than what we expected. So first we started with the 310 kits, and we had more funds left in our account. So then we started reaching out to more families. So RTRC had contacts of around more than 800 students at that time. So we started reaching out to them and did this cluster analysis and actually scaled up the process. We, as Ganesh mentioned, we actually involved community volunteers from that area and other NGOs who helped us to reach out to them in the ground level.
So to add on to Amjad's point, this entire initiative was would not have come live if it were not for the support of a lot of people who have been working on ground. We were able to reach out through the families that we helped to various other people who were also working in that particular area, and that's how, as I mentioned before, this network came about. And we are thankful to a large number of people who have been doing much more than us, and who have been actually on ground while we were a lot of kilometers away, who have been actually ensuring that this process took place on ground. If I could have the liberty to mention a few people's names, I'm actually afraid that I may leave out somebody because of the sheer number of people who helped us. So there was Ajay Sheikh, a PhD student from Gujarat University, who has been working in an area called Gulbai Tekra even before we started our initiative, and has been helping to ensure that we reach out to the correct people at the timely manner. Then two NGOs come to mind, Bunyad and Sahyog, which are headed by Mr. Josefa Ujjani and Mr. Shailesh R, respectively, who have helped us deliver over 1,000 kits, and who have been working continuously, who have been interacting with not only us, but with various other individuals who are interested in contributing, and have been ensuring that this whole action took forward. If I have to mention names, it wouldn't end. There are a lot of people such as Chandrakant, Zakir Kasi, Khairun Ben, Naresh, etc., who have been working on ground continuously and helping us reach these kids. And like they are the people who are actually at risk, if I may say, of contracting the disease themselves. And a lot of them have undergone tests at various points to make sure that they are actually like able to continue this process. And yet, facing this risk, they have taken forward the initiative. So if I may take this opportunity to thank them, I would certainly do so. Thank you.
It's amazing. Thank you so much, Ganesh, for mentioning all those people who have helped you. And I'm sure that if they would be listening to you here, and if they would be listening to your video in the future, they'll be really grateful to you for mentioning their names, because in the end, it's all of us together who can make something successful, make an activity successful. So thank you so much for mentioning their names. It's really amazing to see how much help you have garnered on ground. There is this one more thing that I would like to know, and that is that how difficult or how easy was it for you guys to raise funds, because 14 lakh rupees is a lot of amount. So how did you manage to raise funds, and how did you spread the word about your little initiative?
Initially, as we mentioned earlier, the IIM A community was quite generous. And during the months of April and May, a lot of individuals contributed, even reached out to us asking if we needed more help. And they were quite generous in ensuring that the activity took forward and was able to garner a strong foundation. And this is why we were able to launch this in quite a big way and scale it up to a large extent. And once we had enough funds, and we were able to launch this. And later on, due to greater requirements, we started a campaign, a crowdfunding campaign on the site keto.org, where we were able to reach out to the greater community through various social media platforms, and even to our own network, our own personal contacts, to make sure that more funds were garnered. And a lot of kits were also a lot of kits and a lot of medical help were also provided through funds from allied organizations such as Info Analytica Foundation, Post, etc., who also like contributed generously in partnership with us to make sure that this activity went forward.
Okay, so how we started was we asked the IIM A community to sponsor a kit per person. So it was around rupees 650 per the first initiative. So many people actually sponsored 10 kits or 20 kits, and even the professors pitched in, and they were very helpful. And after that, one of our senior, Aitya Agarwal, came up with an idea to raise funds by conducting a workshop. So it was a consulting workshop, and he had prior experience in that, as he was a club coordinator for the consult club in IIM A. So actually, the workshop was a very success. The workshop was very successful and saw a participation of around 120 people, and he raised 1.2 lakhs from that. So this set an example for the other IMA people to pitch in with some more ideas similar to that.
Yeah, adding to the Amjad point, so there are a bunch of people from our batch are coming forward and helping us to raise funds. So there was a team of Devans. He has a 5 to 6 students who started CAT prep and guidance session as a webinar and with a registration fee. So they donated whole amount to our initiative. And afterwards, there was one girl named Harshita Arora. So she started auctioning her painting for this relief fund. So that was amazing. So the third one is this Sunday, some 5 to 6 people with consulting background also organizing one webinar for consulting prep. So they are also going to deliver this donate this fund to our initiative. So all in all, so these are very commendable efforts. So they like because of them only. So we are uh, like continuing with our efforts this enthusiastically.
It's amazing to see how much the IIM Ahmedabad community is interlinked and how much these people were willing to help you and how much they came forward to help you succeed in your little initiative. It's really amazing. It gives me goosebumps to talk about this. So I can only imagine what you guys must have felt at that point in time. What advice would you like to give to the upcoming batch of students who will be joining these schools this year? What should they be looking at, especially in this time of COVID when they'll be joining their classes virtually? And what is that one special thing that will make them feel at home?
With regard to what they need to expect from an institute like IIM Ahmedabad, we all like initially when we try to join for a program such as MBA, we look at the end output, like what kind of position that we are able to achieve, the financial security that we get, etc. And sure, like IMA is an excellent place to grow your network, grow your skill set and knowledge, and make sure that you achieve great success in your professional career. But at the same time, this is not the only thing that IMA has to offer. Through the number of people that you interact with at IMA, the fellow students, the professors, and the entire culture as such, you can pursue whatever you want and you can develop yourself and build a strong skill set in a lot of aspects. It's not just about the company that you end up in, but the skill set that you develop in leadership, the vision, and the social and business mindset that you develop at the end of the 2 years. So it's an excellent place where you can develop yourself to any particular sector that you may be interested in and to develop any skill that you want.
Okay, so there is a saying in IIM Ahmedabad that help will be served to those who ask for it. So never feel shy to reach out to people. The seniors will be very helpful to you. So last year, when we were in the same situation as you for the first initial months, we reached a lot of help from our seniors. So they will help you sail through these tough times. And I am definitely sure that you won't be the same person when you leave IIM Ahmedabad, and there will be a huge shift in your character, your personal capabilities, and all the skill sets.
Yeah. Then one line from my side is that just believe in yourself. You will sail through the IIM Ahmedabad.
Thank you so much, guys. It was amazing talking to you, knowing your story. And I'm sure that everybody who listened to you and your story will have their hearts melted. And it's going to inspire a million other people out there who would be wanting to do something for the needy people out there. Thank you so much for joining us for this session. It was great talking to you. It was really enlightening, if I must say. Take care, stay home, and stay safe.